regardless of how you feel about Shedeur. At this point, you have to feel bad for Shedeur, because what the heck is this?
Kevin Stefanski full of shit.
Oh wow.
He full of shit. That's the type of coach you talk about instilling confidence into your players. How you think that makes Shedeur feel? I don't know who the backup is? Yeah. You got to be kidding me. You really gonna bring up Bailey Zappi from the practice squad and make him the backup over me and I've been on the active roster? Either Kevin Stefanski thinks Shedeur Sanders is Magic City parking lot, straight ass, or he just don't like him.
The Cleveland Browns have officially entered their "what on earth are we doing" era, and fans are completely losing it. Shedeur Sanders is sitting there, polished, ready, electric, while Coach Kevin Stefanski seems locked in a full-blown bromance with Dillon Gabriel like it's senior prom season all over again.
We're making fun of the Cleveland Browns again as we're on Shedeur Sanders' watch. Now we're on Stefanski getting fired watched as well. We're watching this team just be a comedic joke every single day, from Dillon Gabriel struggling to complete 5-yard passes to watching Stefanski stumble in the media, plus the analytics. Big thing though that's making Cleveland hot right now is Stefanski getting fired.
I did not say to fire Kevin before the season or after last season. I should have. I'm saying it now. Fire Kevin. Like, when you watch the team look unprepared, undisciplined, like they don't know what they're doing, poorly coached over and over and over, it's like, okay, I've had enough. And I know I'm not the only one.
Fans aren't just upset. They're plotting like fantasy league masterminds, trying to figure out if this man's allergic to talent or just obsessed with chaos. Seriously, what's happening in Cleveland right now? Is this the start of a total implosion or just another messy chapter in the Browns' never-ending drama? Because let's be real, the city's football scene has officially gone off the rails. Fans are spiraling into full-blown panic mode, rage tweeting, overanalyzing press conferences, even dissecting the coach's coffee choice like it's a secret playbook clue. And please hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you think.
The problem with Dillon Gabriel is he's going to play it close to the vest to a point where he's not really going to put the ball in harm's way to look crazy bad. So what would you need to see? What do you think Kevin Stefanski would need to see to even contemplate the trade or contemplate put Shedeur Sanders in the football game?
Well, I think that if he wants to put Shedeur in the game, Dillon would have to go out there and just completely look lost. I think that the reason that they trust Dillon, the reason why they trust Dillon so much and not Shedeur, you know what I think it is, what it's starting to boil down to, is that Dillon listens to Kevin.
Once again, the Browns sideline looks like a parody skit written by someone who's never touched a football. And the main character in this circus? None other than Coach Stefanski himself, who's either playing chess with his career or setting himself up for the most dramatic firing in franchise history.
So we're going to go ahead and go play stupid, like Dillon Gabriel didn't get 52 passing attempts, get sacked 6 times, have a quarterback rating of 34, and look as bad as possible. And Kevin Stefanski continues to gaslight and tell people that, yeah, it's my decision, he gives us the best chance to win. Is he watching the same Dillon Gabriel that I'm watching?
Meanwhile, Shedeur sits there on the bench, like a 5-star steak, cooling next to a tray of gas station nachos, while Dillon Gabriel fumbles through the spotlight like he's auditioning for a low-budget reboot of Remember the Titans. And not the good part? Nope. We're talking about the messy, chaotic pre-montage scene, the part where everything's falling apart and the coach looks one bad play away from a breakdown.
Overall, I thought he did a good job of standing in there, taking those hits, and playing decent in this game. But now when you look at some of the negatives on film and the things that he needs to get corrected, he's making some throws that you can't make in these type of situations, especially on the road and especially as a rookie on an offense that's struggling to move the football. The Browns are way too predictable on offense right now when it comes to throwing the football. I don't know if he has a high enough ceiling right now to be a franchise starting quarterback in the NFL that you can build off.
I don't think he did enough to keep his job at all. You say he playing good.
I said he's not playing bad.
Oh, from what I watched, I counted 10 throws that I was like, all right, them pretty good throws. 10 out of 52 though. He's not playing.
Cleveland fans, bless their endlessly tortured hearts, have reached that point where hope has officially packed its bags and left town. They've seen enough nonsense, and now they're chanting for Shedeur like it's a national emergency. They want him on that field yesterday, and honestly, who can blame them? After watching Dillon Gabriel's wild freestyle version of quarterbacking, even casual fans are ready to hand Shedeur the playbook, the headset, and maybe even the team bus keys. Cleveland screaming for a savior, and the chosen ones just sitting there in a hoodie, waiting for his shot. Meanwhile, Coach Stefanski's on the sidelines with the eerie calm of a man rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic.
Far as he's not going to take that risk. Shedeur comes off as the type of player that's like, Kevin, like, listen, Shedeur, don't throw that dig. Don't throw that post. If that post is, don't throw that. Just throw it out the back of the end zone. If it ain't there, throw it out the back of the end zone. And Shedeur comes off as the person like, I'm going to get out there. And I know he told me that if it ain't there to throw it out, I'm going to try to thread this thing. Think about this. You remember the Carolina game, his two touchdown passes. Mm-hmm. Every last one of them was threaded through double or triple coverage.
His choice to ship off Joe Flacco, the guy fans literally crowned a Cleveland legend overnight, still feels like a bad dream. One week, he's the Browns' miracle man. The next week, he's gone without so much as a goodbye wave. And now, the same Dillon Gabriel's out there giving Browns fans mild panic attacks every Sunday? You almost have to respect that level of delusion. It's like ordering a salad at a barbecue joint and pretending it's the best thing on the menu. Stefanski's calls this season aren't just risky. They're the kind of bold that gets you trending and unemployed at the same time.
I think it's the way they got here. It starts with the fact that, one of the losses came on 2 missed kicks to Cincinnati. And then you have the game in London where they have the lead and, Carson Wentz is 80 yards away from the end zone. And the defense that has been so great all year gives up what ended up being the game-winning drive. Even the Baltimore game in week 2, that defense played so well. Like, that should have been at least a closer game than it was, if not maybe a chance for the Browns to pull an upset. And then on top of that, the offense has just been so bad. 13.
It's giving Shark Tank Dive with paper cuts energy. Reckless, dramatic, and somehow still happening in real time. Now don't get it twisted. Gabriel's not awful. He's just painfully fine. The type of fine that makes fans miss the chaos. The kind of fine that has people Googling how to replace your head coach midseason. Because in Cleveland, being fine doesn't cut it. It's a one-way ticket to frustration and memes. Cleveland lives for chaos, heartbreak, and that tiny flicker of false hope that maybe next Sunday will be different.
I don't think they close, though. Like, it got so bad, I had to go back to watch Oregon, right? Just to make sure I wasn't tripping. I watched Oregon and I watched Shedeur. Nobody can tell me that he's better than Shedeur. You can't tell me that.
No, not at Shedeur's
best. You cannot
best.
tell me that.
Not at Shedeur's best.
You can't tell me that.
No.
I watched enough tape and I watched enough football and I know enough to see. When I watch these two dudes, I'll probably watch over 20 games. Just to make sure I wasn't tripping. There's no way nobody that watched both of their films would say he's better than Shedeur.
Spoiler alert, it never is. The city's addicted to the emotional roller coaster. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is stuck watching it from the sidelines like a Ferrari parked behind a rusty tractor, just waiting for someone to hand him the keys. Every time the Browns offense sputters, the whole stadium turns toward the bench like, "You sure about this, coach?" And Stefanski? He just nods, probably deep in thought about analytics, formations, or how to make another 5-yard slant look like a masterclass in innovation. It's gotten so wild that Browns fans have started a full-blown free Shedeur movement online. Memes, hashtags, TikToks, fan art, the whole digital uprising.
You hear all the narratives about Shedeur Sanders and they got nothing to do with football, or you got people that can't even tell you why they don't like him and continue to kick his back in, and you see games like this where this particular dude gets 52 passing attempts and he looks as outnumbered or outclassed as possible early in the game where Cleveland's running attack is pretty good with Judkins, and they only rushed the ball 17 times the entire game. And you want us to believe that this is like the best chance that you have to win, and it's not personal with Shedeur?
These are people who've survived heartbreaks, quarterback carousels, and playoff collapses that could make Shakespeare write a sequel to Hamlet. But benching a potential superstar, that's a whole new flavor of insanity. And oh, it gets juicy. Word on the street is Coach Stefanski's job might actually be hanging by a thread. Rumor has it the front office is tired of explaining to billionaire owners why the team keeps choosing confusion over competence. Apparently, someone in that building finally had the guts to say, maybe the issue isn't the players, maybe it's the guy calling the plays. Now, to be fair, Dillon Gabriel isn't out there doing nothing. You can see the grind, the footwork, the focus, the determination, but effort doesn't win games, touchdowns do. And right now, Cleveland's offense looks like it's being coordinated by a committee of interns with a Wi-Fi problem.
In so many areas in terms of, like, looking prepared. Our penalties are way down. Our penalties are way, despite the fact that we're playing like 13 rookies, penalties are way down this year. Way down. That's just a fact. Go look it up. And then again, we're playing, and that's with playing double-digit rookies in important positions. So, like, what about us looks unprepared?
Dude, they don't look like they know what they're doing out there.
Every drive feels like a gamble, either a spark of genius or a total disaster with no in-between. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders keeps trending every single game day without even stepping on the turf. He's become the city's imaginary quarterback, the what-if legend everyone's clinging to. Every time Gabriel misses a throw, fans see it in their heads. Shedeur threading that same pass right through the defense like poetry in motion. Every time a drive stalls, fans can practically see Shedeur Sanders out there in their minds, commanding the huddle like a field general, calling plays with that unshakable calm. It's gotten so desperate that people are literally photoshopping him into game highlights just to feel something again. That's how hungry this city is for a spark, for hope. And yet, Coach Stefanski just stands there, cool as ever, wearing that look of a man convinced he's the smartest one in the room. He's doubling down on Dillon Gabriel like it's some high-stakes poker game, but he's betting his career with Monopoly money. Except this ain't a game night. This is Cleveland football, where bad bets don't just lose points, they end careers. You can feel the tension thick in the air. Players sense it, coaches whisper about it, and even the mascot probably feels the awkward vibes. When fans start chanting for the backup quarterback before halftime, you already know something's rotten behind those locker room doors. It's like hearing the Jaws theme before diving into the ocean. Everyone can sense something big and ugly is about to happen. But here's the plot twist. Maybe Stefanski really believes in this. Maybe he sees something in Gabriel that no one else can. Rival coaches are probably texting each other mid-game like, wait, he's still not playing Shedeur? Cool, defensive meetings canceled. That's how baffling this is. At this point, it's not even about fan pressure anymore. It's about survival. The Browns are standing at that dangerous mid-season cliff where one more bad decision could send the whole operation spiraling out of control. The front office can smell the smoke, and the scary part, they're starting to wonder if Stefanski's the one holding the match. And let's be real, trading Joe Flacco was already a wild gamble. It sent a clear message to the team and the fans. We're moving forward, not backward. But when that move-forward plan involves benching the rookie everyone believes in, the one people are calling the future, you're begging for trouble. Now, fans aren't just frustrated, they're asking hard questions. And those questions, they never end with applause. They end with pink slips. You gotta wonder what's really running through Stefanski's head during these games. Maybe he's daydreaming about that perfect future, where Dillon Gabriel suddenly clicks, lights up the field, and everyone starts calling him a genius. Or maybe, just maybe, he's praying to make it through another post-game press conference without having to explain why the Browns' offense looks like it's allergic to actual progress. Let's be honest, Cleveland fans aren't exactly famous for their patience. This is the same fan base that once booed Santa Claus. So yeah, mercy isn't part of their playbook. Once this crowd turns on you, it's a wrap. Winning them back is next to impossible, especially when there's a flashy young quarterback like Shedeur Sanders sitting there, helmet in hand, ready to change the entire vibe. The fans aren't just asking for Shedeur anymore, they're demanding him. And if Stefanski doesn't give them what they want soon, he might be watching next season's games from his living room couch instead of the sidelines. The craziest part? This whole thing could flip in one night. One breakout game, one jaw-dropping debut from Shedeur Sanders, and suddenly, Stefanski's not the villain anymore, he's the genius who trusted the process. But until that miracle moment happens, he's walking a tightrope with no safety net, and every shaky pass from Gabriel makes that rope thinner and thinner. The noise is getting deafening. Sports talk shows are tearing him apart, analysts are calling it a disaster, and even ex-players are jumping into the chaos with their hot takes. It's become its own living, breathing story. The stubborn coach, the benched prodigy, the restless city. Every new headline just adds another chapter to this football soap opera. And where better for the drama to unfold than Cleveland, the capital of heartbreak and hope colliding? Because here, football isn't just a sport, it's full-blown theater. High stakes, unpredictable, sometimes straight-up tragic theater. Every decision feels like a plot twist, and every week the script gets messier. When this is all over, the same fans calling for Stefanski's head will be rewriting history, claiming they always believed in his long-term vision. The front office will spin fancy speeches about trusting the process, but deep down, everyone will know the truth. It wasn't strategy, it was desperation dressed up as patience. And that's the real Cleveland story, chaotic, emotional, and impossible to look away from. Because in this city, every snap feels like a cliffhanger. And right now, Stefanski's the main character in a drama that might just end with him being written out of the script for good. Dillon Gabriel's journey is wild in its own right. Pure chaos wrapped in pressure. He's out there playing with the weight of an entire city's doubt sitting heavy on his shoulders. Every snap, every read, every off-target throw, it's all magnified 1,000 times. He's not just battling defenders, he's fighting a ghost. The ghost of what could be if Shedeur Sanders were under center. And you can feel it in his body language, like a man desperate to prove something bigger than stats, bigger than himself. But here's the cold truth. The NFL doesn't care about effort, it only respects wins. And right now, Cleveland's running out of both time and patience. It's the same cycle every season, promise, panic, and pandemonium. This city dreams big, believes hard, and then somehow, everything unravels spectacularly. Injuries, drama, or plain bad decisions. It's like the Browns are cursed to trip over their own optimism every single year. This time, though, it feels different. It feels personal. The air around this team is charged, like something explosive is coming. Maybe it's a locker room shakeup, maybe it's a quarterback switch mid-season, or maybe it's the moment Coach Stefanski finally realizes that stubbornness doesn't win games. It just writes tomorrow's headlines. Because let's be real, if Cleveland drops one more ugly loss, the calls for Shedeur Sanders won't just be loud, they'll be earth-shattering. And in Cleveland, when the noise hits that level, ownership starts listening fast. The real question now is, how long can Stefanski hold out before the inevitable? Because honestly, it feels like the countdown to his coaching obituary has already started ticking. Cleveland's got everything it needs: passion, talent, potential. But what it doesn't have is a coach brave enough to pull the trigger on the move everyone's begging for. And that's where this story turns into pure theater. Because if there's one thing Cleveland fans know better than anyone, it's that chaos always finds a way. So maybe, just maybe, the Shedeur Sanders era is about to begin sooner than Stefanski planned. In a city built on heartbreak and hope, it only takes one spark to flip a meltdown into a miracle. And if that spark comes from the bench, well, Stefanski might want to start polishing his resume, because at this point, even his headset looks nervous. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Because if Cleveland's about to explode, you won't want to miss the moment Shedeur Sanders finally steps into the spotlight.